Alright, so Dragon Ball Super has changed everything that we knew or we thought we knew about Potara Fusion with the recent episode. And it's surprising because it's actually left a lot of people confused about what the new rules of Potara Fusion is. I've been getting hit up on Twitter and other social media platforms from people who seem to be very confused about what the new rules are and are screaming plot hole and things like that. So on this quickie, I'm going to tell you what the new rules are so that you understand. And no, it's not a plot hole.
Mr. Satan wants you to subscribe to Geekin' 101 on all these social media platforms, you chump. Oh yeah!
So a lot of people are pissed off that the Potara Fusion rules that were established in the original series have been slightly changed. And I understand Vegito fans being pissed off that their favorite character didn't get enough screen time, but that's not what this video is about. People have been hitting me up saying that it's a plot hole, when in actuality it's not a plot hole. Like I covered in my video recently, there's a difference between a plot hole and a retcon, and this is a retcon, but the people who are screaming plot hole are actually confused about what they actually said / meant in the series. So, if we go back to Dragon Ball Z, the original rules of Potara Fusion as told to us by Elder Kai were that if two beings fused with the Potara, they would be fused permanently. When Vegito was absorbed by Majin Buu, Vegito defused. I did a whole video covering why Vegito was defused. It was a different quickie because there's also a lot of misinformation about this. The only actual reason given to us in the original manga and anime is Goku stating that the atmosphere inside of Majin Buu is what created the defusion. That's literally the only information we got. It wasn't Majin Buu magic or any of the other contrived Dragon Ball wiki nonsense that you may have read on the internet. It's only one thing, which I personally double checked from the original Japanese manga. So that's the only explanation we got of the defusion. Now, fast forward to Dragon Ball Super, we then found out that the fusion of Kibito and Kaioshin could also be defused with the Namekian Dragon Ball. So the idea of Potara Fusion being permanent was just in theory. There are other ways of unfusing, like making a wish to the Eternal Dragon. Now, fast forward to Dragon Ball Super. In Dragon Ball Super, there was a major retcon that in some ways may have explained what happened to Vegito. We find out from Gowasu and Supreme Kai that Potara Fusion actually has a 1 hour time limit for all beings that are not gods or that are not Kaioshin. And that is why Vegito defused inside of Majin Buu way back in Dragon Ball Z. This now changes the rules established almost 20 years ago in DBZ. The new rule now is that when mortals use the Potara Fusion, it only lasts 1 hour. However, much like with Metamor and Finger Fusion, as we saw from Gotenks and Gogeta in GT, if you want to count that, if you use up too much energy during the fusion, it can shorten that 1 hour window, which is what happened in Dragon Ball Super episode 66. And of course, this was a plot convenience to get Trunks in there to really finish off Zamasu. That's the real reason that they even came up with this retcon. Now, the confusion lies in a lot of people hitting me up saying, well, what about the Elder Kai and the Witch? What about Kaioshin and Kibito? Kibito's not a god. The Witch is not a god. Why are they still fused? I figured this would be kind of an obvious answer, but the way it works, guys, is that when you Potara fuse, if one of the two people in the fusion is a god, if one is a Kai, then the fusion can go beyond an hour. They don't both have to be Kais. They don't both have to be gods for it to be a permanent fusion. Those are pretty much the new rules of the Potara. You can stop saying it's a plot hole because it's not a plot hole, but it is a retcon, and I covered the differences in a different video, which I'll link in the description down below. And for the record, that is all that was changed. Potara Fusion is still significantly better than Metamoran Fusion because you don't have to have an equal power level, and it's a longer time limit. So no matter what, Potara Fusion is still better than Finger Fusion. Thanks for watching this quickie. Spread it out to anybody who's confused about why the Elder Kai and the Witch are still fused. It's pretty obvious right there in front of you. Thank you for supporting Geekdom. Talk to you later.